with regards to the gap between double and single frozen pricing, which I guess probably, I don't know if it's ever been wider than it currently is. It must almost be a record level. But do you think that is that a kind of a new normal, or is that going to inevitably close kind of next year?
My personal perspective is it's quite unusual, and I'm quite long in the business, and I can confirm that I haven't seen such a big gap in my career. Will it continue? It depends a little bit where prices really move to. It's not sustainable, but short term it might continue, or it might probably go down a little if double frozen prices increase. If single frozen prices increase at the same level, we will see the same gap. Is that long-term sustainable? I don't think so, because if you have a $800 or $1,000 price difference per ton, it will force the industry to look at possibilities to substitute double frozen by single frozen, because that's a big cost saving, or as well to look to alternative species, whatever that is. So I think short term, this gap will stay, at least in A season, but will it stay in B season, or will it stay on a longer period? That's not sustainable, I think. Then the market will change.
Okay, thanks, Klaus. And another question for you, actually. With regards to the focus of the EU, the EU industry, the big German retailers, very focused on having MSC certified products. But we have this situation where a major supplier of MSC certified PBO, Russian fishery, it looks like, well, they as it stands at the minute, they've lost they will no longer be able to sell MSC certified products. And just how big a deal is that for the processing sector in 2021? I mean, is this something where it sort of feels like a big deal in the industry, but the market will just kind of ride it out, or do you think that this is actually a big deal, because I guess it does, on one hand, create a deficit in the market of blocks?
Short term, it's a big deal, I think. It makes the sourcing situation even more complicated or more difficult at the moment. Or in other words, it just adds fuel to the fire. Because it's not happening in next year. We know that some Russian processing fishing companies taking their remaining quota in 2020 in November and December. This is the same situation for Russian Sea, and they are not able, to my knowledge, to claim that NSC any longer. So this product produced this year is scheduled for arrival in February, March next year, and this will create as well shortage. So short term, again, it has an impact on the availability of products. But PBO is only one kind of product format, and the total production is, I think you mentioned 15,000 tons or 13,000 tons. That's nearly correct. I have 15,000 tons here. Will it be compensated by other industry members, or how long will they be without an MSC certification? That's a question mark here. But knowing the Russian industry, hearing that the quota might increase on the longer run, the shortfall might be compensated. And on the other hand, Russian fishery needs to fix that issue. Without an MSC certification, they are not not a significant player in that market any longer, especially in the European market. On the other hand, we have the HNG production, and keep in mind as well that Russian Sea is producing around about 60,000 tons or 66,000 tons double frozen MSC material for China. And we need to take into consideration that it might have an impact on the availability of MSC HNG in China. Knowing that the HNG volume is around 800,000 tons, 850,000 tons in Asia, you can ask yourself, is 50 to 60,000 tons a significant number, or isn't it? So that's a little bit of speculation. But again, short term, it creates further issues.